How's it going, guys? Bringer Platoon here, and welcome to another great set of games in World of Tanks Xbox One Edition. Gonna be playing once again, or featuring, I guess, the AMX M454, the second line of heavy tanks for the French line. If I said French twice there, I apologize. But yeah, AMX M454, Tier 10 French tank. That's a heavy tank. And yeah, you know all about this tank. It's got a mediocre gun mantlet at about 300 millimeters thick. Same for the turret ring, and the cupolas are big as shit and like 100 millimeters in armor. It's not good. It's not good at all. Although the lower plate can also be penned with premium, but that's all the weaknesses. That's all. And you know what? You can be penned anywhere in your front at any time, which is why people in the comments on other videos are absolutely right. Why the fuck would I let gold spam bother me when everyone in the tier who sees this tank shoot premium at me anyway? Like, why? Why would I let that bother me if I shoot it back at them? I chose the 130mm for finishing this mark because of two reasons. One, the alpha. It's great. Instead of shelling out one 400 damage alpha shot with the 120mm on, yeah, it's got better pen and better premium pen, or better base and premium pen, and it's more accurate. But if you're sniping in this thing, you're doing it wrong. You're not going to get good games. You're not going to get good enough damage to get your mark up, and RNG is going to fuck you, because even though your accuracy is better, even with the strong coffee, vents, and fucking Brothers in Arms, all that shit, it probably goes down to like 0.33 or 0.32, which is the same accuracy for the AMX 30B gun. Yeah, doesn't feel like it. You can brawl with this thing in close quarter combat. The only problem here is that when you're out in the open on flat ground, people can pen your cupolas. They can shoot premium through your mantlet, as I said before, and any other one of those weak points that I pointed out here. But with the 130mm, if you get hit with a basic tier 9 or tier 10 120mm gun, you're trading alpha, which you have 560, for a measly 400 damage done to yourself. And that's great. With the 130mm, you can overmatch people, and yeah, you won't use it a lot, but when you can use it, you will. Or when the opportunity presents itself to use it, you can and you will. What else? Oh yeah, you also need to expose yourself less with the 130mm gun, because as you are doing more damage, your enemies are dying faster, and much like with any tank in the game, if you go anywhere with this thing without support, you're gonna die very, very quickly. I don't care if you're the most armored tank in the game or something gay like the Object 252U? Yeah, that's it. The heavy tank. The Tier 8 Premium Defender, whatever. Yeah. That thing? Or like the 257 that has the gay hull armor shape. I don't know how that shot went in, by the way. I didn't think 280 pen was enough to go to the side of that turret like that when it was angled upwards a bit. But hey, I'll take it, RNG. Thank you. But yeah. Was that all one reason why I switched to the 130? Yes, it was. Okay, so the second reason for the 130, actually no, I explained pretty much everything in that one statement about it. But yeah, like right now I'm face hugging this guy, I can just aim down at his hull, bam, auto match the roof, because it's 40mm thick, and times that by 3, that's 120, and I have a 130mm on, so yeah, gonna go right through every time, no problem, don't even need premium for this. But again, I'm not limiting myself, because people shoot premium at me all the time, and I'm fucking sick of it. And even with this 705A's 310 premium pen, I believe, I know he has like 300 and something, but it's in the low end, he can't pen my lower plate when it's angled. It's pretty funny. Or maybe he couldn't depress his gun enough to shoot the lower plate. Either the case, I bounced his shot, and that saved me some HP. So, my team has dwindled a little bit. They've got a fuck ton of tank destroyers on their team. This Kronvan was fucking off with some other heavy tank behind us while we were dealing with that 705A. And then the Kronvan finished off the Jagdtiger, who was engaging the 705A with me, although very retardedly. I do appreciate the help, Jagdtiger. And then my friendly there dies. I probably shouldn't have auto-locked there, but RNG was in my favor. And, oh look! A ram! For 310 damage. I'll take it. And then, when you do end up high-rolling with this tank, it doesn't do 450, it does 631! Oh yes! I've hit people for 700 before. I may have been firing high explosives, but it's hilarious. Like, I go against everything I know in this game when I trade out a derp gun for a more accurate, faster firing, less alpha gun. I like the pew-pew. I don't like the boom and then you're vulnerable for like 13 seconds. I don't like that. But on this tank, it works. Because if you hide your lower hull and you use the full capacity of your gun depression against people, not only is 90% of your hatches hidden, but they can still pen you. And that's a sad story. But it's true. They still can, and I think that was him just firing. I wasn't sure if that was Artie firing an AP round, because I didn't really see where the shell came from at the time. But now that I look at it, I'm pretty sure it was the E4 firing. But yeah, the 130mm is the way to go, especially when 80% of the games you're going to be in are going to be fucking steamrolls of your team getting steamrolled or the enemy team getting killed so quick that you don't have enough time to get fucking damage. It takes 8 pens for you to get what you need. Or is that accurate? Ugh. It's so funny because I had my strategy planned out. All for the 120mm gun. I never, in my wildest dreams, imagined that this thing would work. But I didn't... Like, even if you come up against a super heavy like the Type 5, maybe you can still aim for the lower plate if it's, like, no angle whatsoever. Or you can engage other tanks. Like, it's fine. But on flat ground, this thing is a piece of shit. Like, you angle your hull so sharply that they can bounce premium rounds. Ooh. Then you go out to shoot somebody, and then other people premium spam through the lower plate, or pretty much anywhere in the front. The mantlet, the turret ring, whatever. No problem. And if they hit one of your side plates, as you over-angle your front upper plate and lower plate, then it's probably going to damage your ammo rack, and that fucking sucks, but it is what it is, and that's just... You're just going to have to accept that that's going to happen. I still wouldn't change out the equipment I have for this thing. I still think vertical stabilizer, gun rammer, and vents is the way to go on this thing. Doesn't need optics, doesn't have a reason. You don't have a reason to switch out optics for making your gun a little less shit and giving yourself... Yeah. It's all about gun stats. You want to improve them as much as possible with this tank, just because it needs it. And if it was given the PC gun stats, then I'd say, yeah, get optics on it, because you won't need the vents, and a little more view range with vents isn't really important. But with optics, sure. That helps a lot, but then again, people are going to be out-detecting you because your camo is ass. I think it's like 10 out of 100. So, yeah, do with that as you will. And then the T-30 finishes me off. So, I went from, what was it? I think after the Kronvan, it was like 6,100 damage or something like that. And then I got up to almost 7,800. That's like 3 extra pens, and phenomenal, in my opinion. That made the mark go up at least 0.5%, or 0.6, around there. And the next game I'm going to show you is again with the 130mm on, and just why it is so much better. Well, not better, but like better for your given situation. Just trust me. Okay, so the next game is going to be on Corellia, and we all know what happens on this map. You go to like fucking H8 or J8, or maybe even up to J9, or not H9, sorry. And then you just battle for control over there, and then either your base is capped, or some people fall back to defend it. And yeah, I don't know what people do along the ABCD line. I usually don't go up there just because I don't like to and already. But if you go to like where I bipped, where I pinged right there, like in H7, already can't hit you as you go up that hill. That's pretty great. Although you have to get like a little closer to the other hill, like at G7, to be already safe, but that's no issue. But then you can shoot down on people coming up the hill, and if anyone tries to go up there, obviously there's not a lot of light tank. There's no light tanks in this game. Wow. But there's 2 medium tanks to worry about. If they're, you know, in their right mind, they'll take the hill and try to take it. But if they're not armored, they're not going to last very long. And yeah, it's all about, for me on this map, getting that hill and then keeping it secure and locked down, and then just kind of poking around at G8 around the hill where the enemy usually stops to snipe at people at, like, Jesus Christ, I'm pinging the map like a madman, at like J6. So they're having a sniping battle, duking it out, and here you have to risk damage to get to the hill. Like, I'm swaying my tank back and forth, trying to... I got an auto bounce there because my side armor was 50 millimeters, and they don't have the overmatch mechanic that I do for that particular armored plate. Had I been angling a little bit more, it would have been very easy to go through. But my team dealt with them and stopped them in their tracks relatively quickly there, and I was kind of concerned that there was going to be a medium tank up here, but then he got spotted there at, like... You know where he is. He's on the map, you can see him. He's, like, right above me. And I'm like, that's kind of weird that they didn't come up here. So I'm, like, peeking over to make sure I'm not going to be surprised when I go and deal with the fucking fuck ton of tanks that is in, like, G9. So I'm detected. I'm kind of panicking a little bit. I'm just kind of swaying. And then I block however much damage that was. I think it might have been a YEEEAAAAAHH shot, but I don't know. I don't know how much I blocked before I came up the hill. But, yeah. Like, my team's got these guys. My team has these guys, like, locked down. So I can just come over with a little bit of gun depression and be, like, on top of them and shoot down on them. Like, it's great. Watch this. Like, even with .37 accuracy base, boom. Right into the E4's hatch for, like, 550 damage. It's great. And then, if they try to push on me, they're going to lose a metric fuck ton of HP. And then, what do? Oh, look! Another hatch pick. I'll take it. For a little bit lower than I wanted, but whatever. It's more damage. And I got 670 spotted target hit damage as I made my way up the hill. So, that's free damage. That's more damage I don't have to do to make my mark go up. Which is great. Because, that E4's dead. Alright. One less tank destroyer to worry about. Auto-penning me through my upper plate when he loads fucking premium, or through my mantlet, or through my turret ring, etc. I'm gonna cough right now, and I'm sorry if it's loud, but I don't feel like editing it out. Lovely. I am a little bit sick, so I do apologize. I probably shouldn't even be doing these commentaries, but whatever. So this 257 challenges me. He doesn't fire heat at me, which is really fucking strange. He did at first, and I'm not sure that... That's what happens when a heavy tank rams a heavier tank at full speed. Oh, that's so funny. I didn't stop to take that shot at the T-54 either. That was pretty phenomenal that went in. But, oh, that ram. Good job, 257. You did good. And then this is like a 50-50 pen shot here. I try to... Oh, no. I lied. The next one is about a 50-50. But I don't know where that shot went or why it went where it did, but that was well within the means of RNG there and in the ring of where I was aiming, so that's fine. I'm just looking for a shot on this YEEEAAAAAH Panzer 100, and I shoot at the superstructure, which is relatively 270 on flat ground of millimeters of protection. With my 280, it's like a 50-50. I don't know if I was aiming down or he was equalizing it a little bit or whatever, but I shoot again in the same spot, and I bounce. So I'm like, oh well. That'll happen. But no big deal. I can just hold off my reload, be safe with my relatively 100% HP, and then hatch pick him, bam, there's another big alpha roll into him. He's not going to last much longer, and their team is kind of dwindling, so I'm like, should I rush out and risk damage to myself? And I'm like, no, instead I'll just full HP this high explosive slinging M103, because God knows I've earned it. Or RNG gods, I should say. Let's not get fucking religious up in this bitch. But yeah, like that one almost missed. Which is RNG in a nutshell. If your shot's gonna miss with either the 120mm or the 130mm, there's nothing you can do. You can place your shot all you want, and you're gonna be in close to mid-range brawls with this thing. And if you're gonna miss, or not pen, or bounce, it's gonna happen. RNG is gonna fuck you. Doesn't matter what your doesn't matter what your accuracy is on the gun. If RNG is gonna fuck you, it's gonna fuck you, and it's gonna fuck you hard. I hard aim on the Artie because I know he's probably gonna do more damage to me than this fucking Conqueror is with his 400 damage alpha, and then he just tracks me, probably trying to overmatch my side track armor and go and put it into my hull. He goes down, no big deal. And I've got 6,600 damage, plus 1,150. That's, let's do math for a second, like 7,700 combined, roughly. So that's another good game for the mark. That'll probably bring it up, once again, like 0.5 or 0.6%, which is great. So, yeah, that is what it is. And I don't know what I said about before, how it's going to be like a triple feature gameplay. It's going to be a quad. It's going to be a quad feed, guys. It's going to be a good kill feed for you. No, that's Call of Duty talk. I don't. Let's not go there. It's going to be 4 games. The first 3 games you're going to see with the 130mm on, and then the last one is going to be with the 120mm on, and it's going to be the best damage game. Well, I guess best base damage game I've ever had in this thing. And by that I mean, I have 1 shot left. So, yeah, by the end of the game, I have 1 shot left. It's pretty funny how great that game is. But, not going into that very much, let's start with this game first, and then the last game last. So, El Alamein, or however the fuck you pronounce that map name. On this one, I usually go to, like, the 4 lines and just work ridges and try and get shots where I can. And every time I go, if I'm at top spawn and I go anywhere, like, in D8 or 9, I always get shit on. Doesn't matter what I do. An Artie can hit there. It's just... it sucks. I haven't worked the beach before because I just don't know that area very well, and I probably could have used that, but I just never had a lot of luck on it. So anytime I spawn, top spawn, I would usually go to, like, I don't know. I'm afraid to be out in the open because of Artie. So top spawn, I'd probably go, again, to D7, 8, 9. And then I'd get a little bit of good damage from spotting and shit, and then I'd die with, like, maybe 6,000 combined. Maybe. If I was extremely lucky and my team was actually covering me, yeah, I would be over-aggressive. Although, now that I say that, I probably could have just stuck to, like, I don't know, like D7 and just supported from that corner there. As people pushed into me, people from the beach could shoot it into them, but I don't know. Let's just talk about what's going on. Okay, so there's going to be heavy tanks over here, and there is. Oh, look, there's one. Okay, so I can angle myself like this to angle my lower plate. I know I'm not going to pen that 430 in the turret, even with my 280 premium pen. Ooh. And hitting a hatch would be relatively, you know, spitballing. So I'm going to do something a little risky here. I'm just going to wait for them to get a little dicked on before I start the push. I know I'm safe from Artie here, unless Artie went all the way down to, like, fucking A5. Then maybe he can hit me. But I feel good right here, and this is just sniping in its purest form working for this gun, which is phenomenal, considering... I guess anytime you don't have to shoot a tank with fucking gay spaced armor, like the IS-7, or, like, a weird hull shape, like the 257, or anything like that, 277, pretty much anything Russian, then you're fine. It doesn't matter where you hit, as long as it's not below the tracks, or, like, completely misses the tank. You're gonna pen, if you know how to aim your shots. I'm detected there. I don't want to take damage this early on from a tank destroyer, from, like, the one tank destroyer that I haven't seen yet. And I don't even know what the tank destroyer is. It might not even be a tier 10, but still, though, don't want to lose HP from anything I can't see, because then that just, yeah. I don't want to do that. So, no one has been spotted over there with our light tank where he is, so I decided to make a push. There's enough supporting heavies to my left. There's 3 of them, and one of them looks a little, you know, not healthy. And then we have a full health E100 over there as well, which is, again, on our side. So, I decide, I'm going to make this fucking ridgeline work for me. Yeah, there's a lot of tanks here that could probably YOLO me if they wanted to, but if they did, they'd get punished by the tank destroyers behind me, and they're not going to do that. Unless they're completely idiots, and I just get really unlucky. So I get to put a free one into the Object 430 just because I know he has a quick fucking reload, and the faster I can take him out of the game, the more secure I can feel. Although that goes with relatively all of these tanks in the game, and I'm just trying to get some free damage. Like, I hit the turret, or not the turret, the gun of the fucking IS-3 there. That sucked dick, but that was my own fault. I should have aimed that better, and this part kind of sucks because I get ammo racked, yeah, boo-hoo for me, but I damage his oil tanks? His fuel tanks, there you go. So I fix that, and I don't make that mistake again to make him shoot into my side. I make sure that he's aiming at other tanks. I'm like, okay, I think he just fired, so I'm going to go up here really quick and put a quick one into the dirt because I'm bad. Did I just get damaged again? God damn. I hate this cough. It's annoying as fuck. So the 430 needs to die, and I know I can kill him, but until he turns his turret like that, I'm like, maybe I shouldn't shoot at him. So I look at other targets. Now he's focusing on them. I can just floor it down here, ram him to death because he got fucking bipped on his way to me. And then I'm just going to ram this guy, and what happens? I magically track him, and I get more track target hit damage. There we go. Sorry. So much stuttering. But right now I've got 3,500 damage combined. I need more. I have, like, 60% of my health pool remaining. Like, more like 50, but whatever. So, this T-62A is going to shoot at me, and he shoots under me, magically. I don't think he's shooting heat, but I don't think he needs to. He probably is, just because tier 10s. But I get exceedingly lucky with where these shots go. That probably could have penned him in the upper turret, but yeah, I'm glad it didn't hit there because it had a chance to bounce or just flat out miss. I'm just glad I penned that shot in general. But, like, this is sniping with the 130mm on, and it's working. Why is it working? Because RNG is being kind to me, and I'm fully aiming my shots, and it's just working. I'm getting lucky. It's very situational. You're not going to be sniping with this thing. And again, I don't know if I said this before in other gameplays, including this one, or earlier games that I showed you in this particular gameplay, but, like, if you snipe with this thing in either gun, you're doing it wrong. You need to get close, and you need to know when to push, and you need to know when to run into enemies and get, you know, track them so your team molests them and you get all the damage for it. You need to know when to push, and you need to know when to risk HP, because when the game is over, you don't need your HP anymore. Unless it's going to flat out kill you to get penned another time, then just floor it and get more damage. Like, ram into a tank going 40 kilometers an hour down a hill and do an extra 300. Like, it helps. I probably could have lucked out on that shot there, but I decided not to chance it and just go right up to him and guarantee more damage for a pen. I already have enough to go up in the mark. That's fine. Again, I say that the more damage you do, despite, oh, I have enough damage, doesn't mean you should throw your fucking tank. Nah. Just because you have enough damage to go up a little bit in your mark doesn't mean you should throw your tank away. Of course, this only applies to tryhards like myself and fellow Unicum players going for marks of excellence. So, here's a full health, practically, IS-7, and there's a light tank over there. I don't care about the light tank. I'm going to track him. He's going to damage me. Oh no! I ram him for 179. That's a lot less than I expected to do there. He's going to shoot at me, and I know the Bulldog doesn't have the autoloader anymore because Wargaming is retarded. He bounces off my lower plate because I angle it just enough to get more armor on it, and then I spot a fuck ton more damage on top of my already impressive 7,000 base damage. So that netted me about 9,300 damage. 9,200 something? I don't know. 9,200. Let's just round it to a nice even number. So, this is the last game for this video. This is with the 120mm on. This is with the same equipment loadout. This is when everything goes right and you have support and it all just flows. I probably couldn't have another one of these kind of games in a very long time. This is like a 1 in a 10,000 range of games where this can happen. It's crazy. And I know. Now, I have a lot more premiums than I'd like for the 120mm loadout, but I was tired of people auto-penning me with premium at this point. And this was before I switched over to the 130mm. So naturally I'd have more premiums loaded than 1723 loadout, but as in 17 AP rounds, 20 APCRs, and then the 3 high explosive because waffles. But yeah. Besides that, this game is phenomenal. Like, I shoot all the base, or I shoot all the regular AP rounds before I dip into the premium rounds, so there's that. That's a good thing, right? I believe so. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. But, like, I don't like... On this map, I really enjoy going down to, like, the 5-6 JK lines, just because you can defend really well, but if a lot of your team doesn't go with you, you're just going to get shit on from, like, all directions, because there's a lot of different angles for you to be shot at from. So, as soon as you realize that you're outnumbered and outmatched, you can just run back through where the greenies are coming in from now. That, like, the H3 road. You can run back through there, and then go on the angled hill at, like, D3 and defend your base from there. And usually that'll work. Unless, of course, the enemies are coming in from, like, the E3 line down there to, like, F5, then you're just going to get hit from multiple angles, and there's nothing you could do. Although, you can do the same thing from D1 and remain perfectly safe from E3, so, yeah. Do with that as you will. But, anyway, nothing really impressive happening yet. I only got one pen for 370, which is, of course, under my standard alpha roll, but that's fine. So right now, my chance to shine is, yeah, right now. I said that weird, but moving on. So, there's a shit ton of my team over here supporting me. I know that everyone is going to be focused. I shoot the gun barrel again. God damn it. How many times do I have to do that in my gameplays before it's like, hey, I should probably aim these shots? Yeg! Shoot him! Bam! Oh, I love having support. So great. So, that was the only thing I was worried about there. Now I can shoot at this waffle without really any fear of retaliation because they're just going to auto-bounce off my upper hull because of how angled it is. And the only thing I have to worry about right now is this Yag Panzer E100 fucking me with his giant-ass tank, or them hitting me in the cupolas when I go out to fire. And seeing as though I have the 120mm on, I'm going to be doing that a fuck ton to get the damage I need. And don't worry, folks, I get plenty of damage here. Oh, yes. And then the Jagdpanzer kind of, like, nudges me a little bit to get out of harm's way because he's reloading and panicking for some reason. I don't know why. He's safe there. But, like, he tries to hit my cupola and bounces off my turret because reasons and RNG. And I'm just taking turns with this fucking Yag coming out. I get a free hit on the waffle again, although that probably should have missed in all reality. But, yep, I just keep being aggressive, keep chancing my HP, because I know the only thing that they can hit is that fucking small, well, large-ass cupola on the top of my turret. But with me, keep moving like I am, the chances of them hitting it are, well, less so. But considering how big the fucking thing is, it's not very hard to hit. Just, like, hard aim onto it, and just, yeah, like, I tried to pen that. That probably wouldn't have penned. I'm into I'm into the premium rounds now. Fuck, I hate being sick! That's Type 5 Heavy. That's one of the few tanks that I'm going to have trouble penning reliably, frontally. But in the side, it's no issue. I set that 705A on fire. That's a big stroke of luck for me. That probably means his ammo rack is a little bit broken right now. Or damaged, I should say. So that gives me more time to put damage into him. And now he's down to a one-shot, which is exactly what I needed. But instead of him getting shot again, I need to finish off that E4. That can practically half-health me with one shot if he gets a high roll in his damage roll. I need to finish off the 705A before he can put another shot into me. And I do so. Type 5 Heavy's a little low. My team's got him dead to rights practically, so I don't worry about him. I instead worry about the tanks approaching from this side. Tried to angle my hull out a little bit so I don't get like auto-penned in the lower plate with heat or whatever. I think I get a free pen on here from the E5. Yep, there it is. Okay, I don't know where that hit. Looked like it hit like into his side tracks or the very low end of his turret with premium, but I think it was into the hull. Otherwise, even premium would have bounced at that angled turret because reasons. And RNG hates me. But yeah, like, we're getting rushed by the majority of their team now, or all of their team, I should say, and we're down a tank. So I'm like, uh-oh, this could get bad very quickly if we don't take the right measures here. So I go over here, I try to get a free shot, doesn't happen, that's fine. I try to focus down this light tank because I know he can piss me off later in the game. I pen him and track him, I get penned by an E5, I'm like, okay, they're going to focus down that medium, okay, that's fine. I need to come over here and deal with the E5 and this other tank. I get a lucky pen there. There's a Leopard PTA that is a one-hit. I bounce 2 rounds magically, finish him off, and then I deal with the E5. I'm trying to bait him to fire. He somehow... Did he pen me there? I couldn't tell if he penned me there. I don't think he did. But I was about to try and damage his ammo rack there with a side shot, but that doesn't happen. And then he just bounces off my track, so I get kind of lucky there. And you may say, oh, you're getting really, really lucky with these shots. Well, even if he had damaged me there, I would still be fine, because the end result of the game would have still been the same. Although, time would have moved on, and that's kind of hard to say that the result would have been the same, because maybe it wouldn't have, because then the light tank probably would have gotten to my ass end, and the Type 4 may not have been able to protect me, and so on and so forth. So let's just say for the time being that I got a little bit lucky, and relatively the rest of this is just skill related. Because I'm close up, there's no way that I can biff these shots unless I just suck at life. I don't know why the Conqueror didn't try and track pen me there, or damage pen me there. The Type 4 puts a shot in right before I do on that medium, and then he's a one-hit, and then I nail him for the rest of his health. That was perfect. So here's this Conqueror, focusing on him. Was really lucky I didn't hit like the metal bar that was kind of poking out or whatever from the wall. Don't know how this guy's bouncing, or if he's even firing premium, but like the light tank isn't an issue right now. I just need that Conqueror dead, and he is, and that's perfect. And I probably could speed this along. I probably should have aimed that better, but I just track him. For some reason, he's got like fucking 3 repair kits, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, he's running away. He's clearly a lot fucking faster than we are. We're not going to catch up to him, so we got to do some crazy shit to outmaneuver him. So the Type 4 Heavy slows dick. I don't know if his engine is damaged. If it is, I feel sorry for the guy, but that's not really a lot I can do for him if I just stay there. And the Bat Chat 12C only has a 4-clip autoloader, and it only does like 130 damage per shot, I think? Something like that. So I feel pretty safe, unless he gets an engine fire on me, which, you know, has been known to happen, but I've got firefighting as well as preventative maintenance, so I feel pretty secure. Pretty secure in my HP, even if he does manage to get an engine fire on the last pen, assuming all 4 shots go into me for full damage and nothing more. I'm pretty sure I could survive a fire, right? Yeah. From his low alpha gun, because when you manage to set someone on fire, it's usually for like the amount you damaged him for like it's like half the damage that you initially dealt to him for 2 ticks, and then it goes down to like I can't believe I missed that. Goes down to like a double-digit damage for the rest of the fire until eventually it's just put out. But like, I'm trying to get some shots on here, and I have some issues with like shell velocity and knowing when to fire. The first one was too quick. The last one was too slow. Or maybe I was too quick on the draw for both occasions. But yeah, like I do get this guy. Spoiler alert! Like there's one pen that I needed. I've got one more APCR round, which is the faster flying rounds of the 2. I'm gonna try and juke this guy out, and it does end up working because he's like, oh, he's gonna go over there. Surprise, bitch! I'm instead going to go over here. And that was my phone going off. I do apologize. I'm going to mute that right now. I try to get a pen on him right away, like right here, but it just doesn't fucking work. I just hit his track, and it doesn't pen because reasons. But not bothered. I've already got my past the 10K goal for this game, which is all I really cared about at the end here. I was like, I need to get 10K damage in this tank. If I don't get it now, it's not going to happen. So, I got it. I'm happy about it. And I'm like, he's not there. He couldn't be stupid enough to go for this. Yes, he could. And I could be stupid enough to not aim my shot there instead of waiting for him to turn. Like, this last shot is pretty good. Pretty proud of this last one. And I know he's going to turn right. And if he doesn't, he's going to turn left. And I have another shot regardless. Boom! Fucking 1,100 feet per... Whatever the velocity is measured in this game. Like 1,100 feet per second or something like that. Meters per second? Yeah, that's it. And I got him. That's my 10,450... Yeah, 10,450 damage base game for this tank. And I only lost 20,000 credits. That's just me rounding. Or I guess rounding would be 19,000. But who's complaining or keeping track? That was when my mark was at 90.5. Oh my god. It got so much easier once I started dealing out that damage like a madman every game. Or at least enough to not go down significantly, like 3,500 damage or 3,000. Instead of like the mediocre 2,000 to 2,500 damage games I was getting with the 120mm. And then here is what my current damage standing is for the tank. The last game I had in 3 marking this thing, it was 5,000 damage, and I got my last pen on an E100's turret that I was facing flat on. I fired, and I did like 500 extra damage, leaving me with 5,000 damage for the entire game. My mark went up 0.15%, and it was at 95.01 after that game. If I didn't get that last pen, I wouldn't have this mark right now. So happy it's over. So happy I can focus on other tanks. I suppose I should also take this moment to tell you that I will not be uploading any more gameplay of this tank because I've already overloaded my channel with videos of this thing just because I've just been really focusing on it lately. But yeah, with that said, thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay, and I'll catch you next time.